Let's talk about getting rid of negative self-talk while you retrain your brain. So too many people today are so hard on themselves. They beat themselves up about what they don't have. They relive past mistakes and dwell on their weaknesses, faults, and failures. Maybe you wake up and you start thinking about what's wrong with you, all your symptoms. You have all these symptoms, you're worthless, and today's just going to be another sick day, and you predict your whole day that way, or you just wish things were different. You wish you had a different body shape, you wish your personality was different, wish you were more energetic, or had a different family. Then people wonder why they're not happy. Well, the thing is, our thoughts lead to our emotions. So if we're not happy, it's because we're thinking negative thoughts, right? So with brain retraining, the powerful thing is that you can change this and wire in positivity and happiness. So if you don't know me, I'm Brooklyn Hannah. I'm a brain retraining coach helping people reverse chronic symptoms and sensitivities with neuroplasticity and Christian principles. Feel free to subscribe if this content resonates with you, and hit the bell to be notified when we post a new video every single Tuesday. So if you're not happy, well, a lot of times it's because you're dwelling on the negative, or you're dwelling on what you don't have, and a lot of times it's this negative self-talk, being critical towards yourself. And many people, they're quick to compliment other people, but why don't you compliment yourself? You don't criticize your friend, then, why do you criticize yourself? So realize that God approves of you, and all you need to do is approve yourself. So He doesn't create accidents. None of you are here by accident. He created you exactly the way you're supposed to be. And when we criticize ourselves, we actually criticize God's creation and tell Him that He didn't do a good enough job, or He didn't meet our expectations. And then also really realizing, are you trying to impress others, man, more than please God? Because people-pleasing behaviors are very common these days, especially with limbic system dysfunction. And so, maybe you want nice clothes. Maybe you're trying to be energetic in front of others to impress them. Maybe you want to be in shape so others approve of you. But guess what? God doesn't require any of that to be approved by Him. So are you trying to please people or man before God? Something to be aware of. And then also, don't spend your whole life making your happiness, of course, depend on what others think of you. Instead, please God by being obedient to Him. And many people also compare themselves to others, and this can backfire as well. So when you're comparing yourself to others, you're usually comparing yourself to people who have it better off than you. You're comparing yourself to someone who is more in shape, someone who is more successful, someone who has a better personality, and someone who is maybe more healthy or energetic. So we should never compare to others, no matter if they have it better off or worse off. But what if you did compare to someone who has it worse off than you? What if you didn't really think that you had the worst case scenario? What if you compared yourself to someone who has less money, who has even worse health, or they're in worse shape, right? And then you might start feeling good about yourself. But in general, you don't want to compare yourself to anyone, especially to someone who has it better off, because you're surely going to be just disappointed and frustrated. And really, the only person we should be comparing ourselves to is Christ, just to be more like Him and not anybody else on this earth. So also, don't live your whole life trying to imitate someone else. If you needed a different personality or a different body in order to complete God's assignment for you, He would have given it to you. So when I was first getting into brain retraining coaching, I was kind of intimidated. I knew God called me to do the group program I was doing, but I was like, man, I can't go live every week. I can't speak in front of dozens of people. And I was comparing myself to other coaches and speakers I had listened to who seemed really bold and strong. They have these strong personalities, really outgoing. And I'm more quiet. I'm a little more introverted, so I didn't feel qualified. And this kept me from doing what God had called me to do and being who God called me to be. And then I realized, I don't have to be someone else. I don't have to have this strong, energetic, outgoing personality. I can just be me. And then also I've compared myself to Nick a lot. That's my spouse. He's more extroverted. He's great at talking to people, strangers, and it just flows for him very naturally. And especially when I was in a really inflamed state, it was really hard for me to socialize. And for me, it's taken a little bit more effort, especially talking to people that I don't know, just because that's not really something that I've done my entire life. So for years, I compared myself to him, thought down on myself. But look, we don't have to be like anyone else. Don't covet or envy someone else. Accept how God's created you to be, and know that He doesn't make mistakes. You are created in His image. He loves you and He approves of you. So we already have an enemy against us, and so you don't need to be your own enemy, right? The enemy is already after us. I mean, more than we can even handle sometimes, it seems. And so, don't be against yourself. Don't be your own enemy. So start talking positive towards yourself. Start loving yourself in a humble way. We don't want to be so proud and cocky, that type of thing. But being humble and just that self-love and just really being confident. And you're really focusing on your talents and gifts that God gave you, because he gives talents and gifts. And they're just really believing and thinking that there's more right with you than there is wrong with you. So dwelling on the negative really just doesn't help anybody get better. Just really waking up with that confidence every day. Look in the mirror and change the script to your positive qualities instead of your flaws. I mean, what do you do when you look in the mirror? Think to yourself right now. Do you point out every little thing wrong with your face or your body? Don't do that. And don't be your own enemy. Don't defeat yourself. And so realize that everybody has weaknesses, but we don't have to keep replaying them in our mind. And even God knew you'd have weaknesses. It's not a surprise to him at all. Nothing is. And he uses those weaknesses sometimes so we can grow and depend on him more. So be kind and loving to yourself. And God forgives you for the things of your past. If you dwell on things of your past, you don't need to do that. Now, you just have to forgive yourself. If you've asked for forgiveness from Christ, forgive yourself and move on. Don't relive any more past mistakes. And when you ask for forgiveness, God clears your record. He doesn't hold anything against you. He approves of you. And so also just celebrate your successes and wins every single day. And you have to do this and just start thinking more positively about yourself. Start writing down things that are good about yourself, and congratulate yourself for the small things in life, whether it's just waking up and getting out of bed, whether it's a 5-minute walk, or the fact that you made dinner for your spouse. Just really celebrate the small ones in life. Because the reality is you have something positive about you. You have wins every day, but you are not maybe acknowledging them. Maybe you're focusing on what you can't do instead of what you can do. So get rid of the negative self-talk, the poor body images, reliving past mistakes, focusing on your failures, and start talking positive towards yourself. All right, that's all I have. So if you want to learn more about these kind of tips, join our free Facebook group. Right now it's called Brain Rewiring for Health and Happiness. The link is below. Godspeed and God bless.